only if they're ready to go, because if they're not, as Frank Howard himself said, keep your stinking hands off my rock. Death Valley in Clemson, South Carolina, home to the Tigers. And while today is the final home game of the season for one team, it is more importantly a celebration, Senior Day, as we'll see a squad from the ACC, the Florida State Seminoles, taking on the winners of 4 straight, the Clemson Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Clemson will kick off to get us underway. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. This crowd trying to show them what it's going to be like all day in this house. They'll run it to the right. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
All right, well, the offense here, they're trying to get this run game established. They obviously don't break off a long run there, but they're just trying to find their footing at this point.
Looking to throw on second down. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. He was trying to get that return going. Instead, he'll hand it to his offense at the 38.
Well, statistically, this defense is not one of the better units against the pass. They're trying to change that here today. What a great job tracking the ball down, making a play on it, stabbing it out of the air for a big interception early. That should be massive for their confidence.
And they pick up just a few on that completion.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
He's back to throw on second down. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. I know you want to prepare for every game the same way, but there's just something different about rivalry games, Jesse.
It's because, Reese, I think players are aware that games like this define your legacy as a player. Your record in rivalry games is something that people are going to talk about for years and years down the road. You have got to show up and play your best football in games like this.
It's complete. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. And they just want to give this guy a chance to make a play on third down, and more times than not, he is going to deliver.
He's so good, so efficient, such a good route runner, got the speed, got the complete game, so you definitely want to highlight him, and especially on those downs that matter the most. If something's not open quick underneath, find him, he'll make those contested catches.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. He's looking to throw. And he will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
Quarterback sacks is a trend that this offense would like to put an end to pretty quick. Somehow they were able to win their last game out, even though they gave up 4 sacks in that one. That was a huge point of emphasis for this.
A shot toward the end zone, and he wanted to get the score right there, but it falls incomplete. Now on fourth down, they'll try to come away with 3. He'll line it up from 34 yards out. Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. And that'll put the first points of the game on the board. It's 3-0. They were able to get a field goal on the board, and now they'll kick it away. That might be overdoing it, keeping it away from the return man as the kickoff goes out of bounds. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. To the ground with the back. He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3. Not what they had in mind to start this drive. Here comes 2nd and 13. He's looking to throw. Grabbed over the middle. It's Case. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. We had a barn burner the last time these two teams played, and no reason to expect anything else between these two bitter rivals.
Attention to detail, and I think the sense of urgency, David, in a game like this just goes way up.
And the blitz gets to him just like that.
This defense, they are tenacious, and they've got guys up front that are athletic and that are so strong and they can collapse the pocket. You saw it right there in that play action.
And the Noles will punt it away on 4th down. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They kicked a field goal on the last drive, Jesse. They've got the lead. Don't make a dumb mistake, but maintain your aggressive play calling.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think it's the play caller right now just taking a look at that script he's got in front of him and finding out where are my playmakers, who can we take advantage of on this deep.
Pulls it in on the left. Hit the afterburners, kid. Touchdown, Clemson. And once he got loose, it was all over.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
And he's going to run it back. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. Boy, 3 and out last time, David. They'd like to be more productive this time. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. Here comes the offense on 1st down. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
That's a big-time play on the D-line right there. And listen, you know, they've had a lot of NFL guys in recent years up front. William the Fridge Perry, old-school Clemson, great on the D-line. He'd be proud of watching that performance on that last play. This guy right here, man, sometimes he just looks like a hero.
And the pass is incomplete, jarred loose by the hit.
Well, the quarterback knew he wanted to go to his tight end on that play. He's a big physical target, but it was the hit on the play that forced the incompletion.
The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they are pushing the ball down the field. A big pickup on that one, and the tackle was finally made.
And the quarterback knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football, had time, spins the ball deep. Nice job by this offense, understanding what the defense is giving them and creating an explosive play.
Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. He uncorks one deep. And he grabs it at the 15. And he'll take it in. They couldn't get him on the ground. Touchdown, Florida State.
Yeah, and really nice job seeing the middle of the field, seeing I can go deep and attack the middle of the field. You can tell he runs a post, Ball's right on him, catches the football, and then gets to gallop right into the end zone for a touchdown.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Looking for those open spaces and opportunity. Smashes ahead. Slips through the line. What a great return, and he flips the field to start this drive off, and he just about scored himself. It is so good to have a dangerous return man. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. A quick strike touchdown up top the last time they had it, Jesse. They'd love to do it again.
No doubt. They've got so many playmakers on the perimeter, David. Just find a way to get these guys the ball in space.
And you already started, man. Making that big play, opening up this offense. This quarterback is feeling good about himself. I wouldn't be surprised if they give it right back to him.
The offense lining up for a first down play. From the gun, they'll give it on the inside. Still on his feet at the 45. Offense on the move. A big play there. Gets it to the 30.
Defense is going to have their hands full trying to stop this guy. They better rally to the football and get multiple hats because he is not easy to bring down.
They try to pop a run on the draw. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Clemson is quick to the line.
I'll be honest, that is a formation and a play call I was never expecting to see in this game. This offense is one of the top 10 passing units in the entire country. I'm surprised they even have goal line in their playbook. What are we doing?
Makes the catch. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal. Starting off this quarter close enough to smell the goal line. They'll run the option. Now the toss. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Tigers.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They are going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. From back of the end zone, he'll bring it out. Stopped at the 26, brought it out in the end zone, picked up an extra yard. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. They are trailing by 10 here, Jesse, but this is the type of team that seems comfortable in an offensive shootout.
You got to hold serve at this point, right? You got to drive the field, put some more points up on the board. Yeah, they just scored. You can answer that now and keep this thing close, David.
And I think you're used to that as offense. Like, football is so fast-paced now and you score so quickly, it's not that big of a deal to get down 10. You keep being aggressive.
Quickly out to the tight end. Still running at the 40. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as they get him down at the 37. They are dialed in on this drive. A couple of chunk plays, and now they'll snap it on first down. Here's the handoff. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They're strong, and they're strong. Defensive tackles, they're strong. There's such big jokers in the middle where they just lock out those offensive linemen. And running backs, listen, they don't have much of a chance. When you got that 300-plus pound guy grabbing you around the shoulder pad, you tend to go to the ground pretty quickly.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these third downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on 2nd down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up 3rd and long, and now you're set up to fail.
They'll go to the ground. And they did not let him reach the line to gain. It'll bring up a decision here.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical enough.
Apparently not tempted to kick the 45-yard field goal. They'll go for it on 4th and short. Runs through the tackle. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
And how about the defense coming up big on 4th and short? You know they're going to run the football. Great job stacking the box, getting the big stop.
Through his hands and incomplete. He normally makes that catch every time. It's 2nd down.
Well, this defense knew coming in they were going to see some RPO and they were going to see some quick game. A nice job there taking the throw away from the quarterback.
2nd and 10. He'll throw again. Tight end getting vertical. Defense on skates that time. They finally drag him down at the 42.
Yeah, and you see some quarterbacks who hesitate to throw the ball over the middle. I love it when you attack the whole field. And the middle of the field and being able to throw over linebackers and between safeties is a big skill. But show that defense. You will attack everyone.
Coaches always harp about staying ahead of the chains. And when you can run with that type of efficiency on 1st down, man, you are doing just that.
Wide receiver shows motion. Quarterback wants to throw on 2nd down. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep. A 3rd down play coming from the 32 as they try to keep the drive going. The RPO, it's complete. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the 1st down. The Tigers are on the move. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And if I'm the running back, I'm like, listen, O-line, can you give me something? Can you give me some space to try to make somebody miss and not have another guy right next to me? I'm giving the offensive line an earful. I need some holes, need some space up front. They got to do a better job.
He's looking for a man on 2nd down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down.
The offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Wide open downfield. He goes to the ground, but not before a big pickup and a 1st down.
I love when QBs break the pocket and still look to attack. Because as soon as you break the pocket, I'm thinking, oh, man, he's going to take off and run, and I might come up. But those big plays can be made down the field. Nice job by the quarterback keeping his eyes down the field.
He locked up and held on to bring him down.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in their gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You can tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a 1st without scoring. It's complete. He threw that one with some serious heat. This senior quarterback doesn't need a lot of space to get it in there. Clemson will come to the line with the 1st and goal. Here comes the option. That play just never had a chance. They knock him down for a loss of 5. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. Dances away to buy time. Got away from trouble and got rid of it. He finds his man. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
I love the anticipation on that throw by the QB on the out route. You got to throw it before the receiver comes out of his break. Nice work.
Looking to throw on 3rd and goal. It's incomplete. He was shooting for the end zone right there.
Yeah, and 3rd and short, they choose not to run, throw the football, and I think a lot of that has to do with they know they're in field goal range. They can take the 3 points on the board.
And for the 2nd time tonight, they'll trot out the field goal kicker. Between the uprights, it's good. And that lead grows even bigger. So they get the late field goal right before the half, and not much time after this kickoff for an answer. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. On the move. They'll wrestle him down just short of the 1st down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. 1st half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The kickoff unit about to go to work.
Set to kick it off.
He'll bring it back from inside the 15. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. They had this lead to start the 3rd quarter because of the passing game. Didn't get a lot done on the ground.
They did, but the quarterback is in a rhythm. That was obvious in the 1st half. And so this 1st drive, you want to continue that. You want to see good decision-making. You want to see him playing on time. And as always, delivering the football.
I mean, I don't know how I don't give him the football. It's the reason I built the lead. He's the guy that I can trust. This offense is built around him. So I expect more of the same here in the 2nd half.
Perfect play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. From the gun, the running back has it. And he'll pick up 1. It brings up 2nd and 9.
I like the decision there in the RPO game too, guys. I know he only got a couple of yards, but that play is going to open up bigger opportunities throwing the football down the field in the RPO game too. So keep handing it off to this guy. Let him see what he can do. And when the defense gives you the look to hold the football and then finally throw it, that's when you take advantage.
Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. He's got it on the right. And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Trying to pick it up on the ground. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Well, as a defense, you know this is going to be a challenge every time you face this offense. They're one of the 25 best in the nation at getting 1st downs because they can pick them up in a variety of ways, including running the football. You have got to be physical when facing off against this offense.
You see all this movement in football now, all the stemming, the defensive line, they're sliding right before the snap, creating confusion for the offensive line. Then they're moving back and stunting. Really good job by the defense. Continue to move, continue to stunt, continue to get in the backfield and make this life hard on this run.
And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. And the Tigers come to the line with a fresh set of downs. They'll throw it on 1st down. Fires the pass, intercepted. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Man, it's so frustrating as a coach because you go into half and you're like, listen, this is what they've been doing. This is what we're getting. Let's go out and execute. And what do? First drive, you throw an interception, you turn the field position to the other side, create momentum immediately. This is an absolute disaster.
Lets it fly. And that one's incomplete. Worth taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Oh, and on defense, you just got to be able to finish that play. That defender had the football in his hands. He's just got to catch it. That should have been an interception.
The give to the back. Makes the tackle at the 46, but it's a 15-yard gain to get them into plus territory.
I'll tell you what, a few more runs like that, and defensively you start thinking more guys in the box, more big guys. I better stop this guy because he's unbelievable. Just great job breaking off the big run, and the OC is going to give him the ball some movement.
He's dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 3.
Man, it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. It'll be interesting to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield.
And when it's 3rd and this long, a lot of times you sit back and play soft coverage. No, sir. I'm bringing the blitz. You can tell they fooled the offense. The defense gets home with the blitz, gets the big sack.
He'll try to field the punt and see if he can give his offense better field position. Very little will make a crowd hold its breath like a punt return, and he brought them to their feet on that one. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive, what made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Well, the offensive line had everybody blocked except the defensive end. He was able to sneak into the backfield and get the tackle for loss.
After losing a couple on that last play, here's 2nd and 12. Unloads to the wideout. And that pass will be jarred loose on 2nd down. That brings up 3rd down.
Just didn't seem like the quarterback and his intended target were on the same page there.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw. Got it in the middle. It's Lawrence. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop. They'd hope to be able to pick up enough after the catch, but a good stop leaves them with a 4th and short.
Really good job by the defense being physical, understanding the situation in the game. The ball's going to come out quick. You know that. Go make the tackle, force the 4th down.
A field goal attempt from here would just be 48 yards, but they'll try to move the chains on 4th down and short. Off the RPO, throw right, looking for the chains. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he showed.
Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Tigers! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. The mantra is always finish, and they're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance. I'm not sure anyone even breathed on that running back by the time he got into the end zone.
Nah, so many blockers out in front. Where are the defenders? I mean, it's a good idea. You know, the guy with the ball, that's usually the guy we want to go tackle. Go get him.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he's coming out of the end zone. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
On the option. Solid fundamentals on that tackle from this freshman.
That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, Clemson 28, Florida State 7.
Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. They'll try to get the first through the air. It's complete to the right. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. The Noles have it with a 1st and 10. They're going back to the ground. Just sort of a relentless run, getting everything that was available to him, and they'll mark him down at the 40.
I know it's sexy to throw the football, but if you can pound it away and get these kind of gains, they will just add up, wear the defense down, get first downs, and ultimately get some points.
Toss to the outside. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down.
Well, it's a good time to mix in the run play. You're down, it's late in the 4th quarter right now, and everyone's expecting you to throw, so not a lot of defenders in the box. That's a great situation to try to run the ball.
Finds his big tight end. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the 1st down.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play like that, maybe they can generate just a little bit of momentum and gain a little bit of confidence that they can keep coaching up heading into their next game.
Man, this guy's like tackling a tree stump, man. He's just so thick, so compact, just continues to break tackle after tackle. You want to bring those arm tackles? They're not going to work. You better bring your whole body, and you better bring a friend.
They're trying to get to it. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Case. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the 1st down.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy on them. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that 1st.
Now inside the 20, 1st and 10 from the 18. Leaves it with the running back. Plows ahead for a pickup of 4 down to the 14.
Brings up 2nd down.
Operating in the red zone here on 2nd down. DB's right up on the receivers. Dialing up a 2nd down pass play. He's got the tight end. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Love the way he didn't just run to a spot. He found the cushion in the zone and got himself open for the 1st down.
Yeah, and you're taught to find that space. You know, don't run right into a zone defender who's sitting there looking at the quarterback and looking at you. So much creativity with routes now and being able to just have subtle moves one way, come back the other way. Nice job by the tight end finding that hole in the zone.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line.
As a quarterback, you've got to know in this area of the field, it's tough to throw, right? The windows, they open and close so quickly when you get down to the red zone. What helps you is running the football, but that's tough today because you're going up against...
And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Noles! He just makes it look so easy. Impressive run.
So impressive. Time and time again, he can buy time, make you look silly, and the defense is just kind of like, wait a minute, you got him? I got him? No? Well, that was good.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Gentlemen, it has gone final in that top 25 matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. UTSA is going to walk off the field there inside the Alamo Dome with a much-needed victory. They had this one circled on the calendars for some time, and regardless the score, that W has to feel good. Always interesting to see ranked teams collide, and today was no different. The agony and ecstasy of college football, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it. Short fields make successful offenses just what they want here. They'll come out on this drive and let it rip. Fires to the wideout. Working the middle. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8. So close to cashing it in for this offense.
And I love that play call. There's a great example of sudden change situation, right? Your defense gets the turnover. You get it right back. The very first play, let's be aggressive. Let's take a shot and see if we can catch the defense napping. Boy, oh boy, did that ever work out great.
We've reached the 2-minute warning, and we see miracles in college football all of the time, and they could use one here. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown Seminoles.
And that's step one. Great job by this offense getting in the end zone. Now you got to go get the stop. You got to get the football back. You got to find a way to do something to create a turnover, get an onside, to get the football back, to get back in this football game.
And the extra point cuts the lead to 7, 28-21. Quick strike offense on that 3-play scoring drive. And he found his way to the end zone from the 7 to cap it. Going for the return. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. This is everything you could hope for in a rivalry game like this. Close game, waning moments, history waiting to be made, guys.
And it's moments like this why you come and play for these two schools, right? To play in a game like this, in a rivalry like this, in a situation, David, game on the line late, who's going to take it?
And you know when you make this play, you're immortalized. With this kind of rivalry, these are the highlights they'll be showing for years. Everybody will be like, I remember when so-and-so made that play against our biggest rival to seal the deal.
Ran through the tackle, and he's got room to run. And he'll be forced out of bounds, but not before yet another big play in this passing attack.
That play is going to drive the head coach absolutely crazy. You've got the lead. Why are you going out of bounds? Just get down, lead the clock. The clock right now is your friend.
Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. At this point, the defense has little choice but to sell out to stop the run on 2nd and 7. They'll run it to keep the clock moving. Quick with the spin move. In his sophomore season, he's really learned to find that running room.
Man, this offense would really like to lean on this guy in the 4th quarter, right? They've got the lead, and you just saw his ability there, breaking a tackle. He looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on. I'd expect him to get a few more carries here before this game's over.
And he can't get it off. Taken down. What a huge play this late in the game. Timeout called there by the defense, desperate to get the ball back and save as much time as possible. Pre-snap motion in the backfield. He's looking for an open man on 2nd down. Oh, he's going to try to hit him deep. He makes a grab, and he will score. Touchdown, Tigers. That try to push this winning streak to 5.
And, you know, late in the games, offenses sometimes get conservative when they got the lead and they got the ball. I love this offense. They were aggressive. They got another score added to the lead. Now you're trying to salt this game away.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He's going to try his luck from the end zone. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone did not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Seminoles have it back. They'll try to get that offensive spear flaming. Coming out on first down with the play fake. He wants a big play here late. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. Into the end zone for a touchdown, and here in the final minute, they still have a chance.
If we had any chance to make this happen, we had to score with a little bit of time on the clock. Now we need a miracle. Now we need to kick the onside, get an onside kick, and somehow, some way, make a big drive.
They tack on the extra point, and they're down a touchdown, 35-28. If only it were always this easy for the offensive coordinator. One play, big chunk yardage, put points on the board just like that. It bounds through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Clemson has their paws on it, and they'll send out the offense. These are the games. These are the moments. This is the opportunity for the finish that people remember in rivalries like this one.
And those highlights that are shown for years and years to come. These big...
Throw to the sideline, and it's complete, and they got a big play.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. Just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
Wants to throw on first down. Going over the top. And it's caught for a touchdown, and that might do it.
That is exactly what you want your offense to do. You want it to eat clock, but if you score, go up by 2 possessions, nail, meet, coffin. Great execution by this offense to put this game away.
They wasted no time on that drive. Got it on their 25, and 2 plays later, they're in the end zone. About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. He'll call for the fair catch here. Guys, here comes that Florida State offense back onto the field. They torched this defense with an explosive passing play for a score last time out. Let's see if they go. He's going to let one fly down the middle. And they won't make the connection going for the big play.
You know, I feel for this offense, if they're going to get back in the game, I don't know if they're going to be able to do it with chunk plays. They're going to have to be methodical and generate some first downs and march down the field.
Gonna run it. It's Case. Runs through a tackle. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
Getting some heat. Moving away from pressure. He's going to take off. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a first down. It's really easy to get caught up in the emotion of a rivalry game. We did, and certainly this was a huge win.
Yeah, and you started, you circled it, you were ready for this team. This is the rivalry you put a lot of stock in all offseason. You're talking about this game in particular. You go out and get the dub. It's a relief because you definitely wanted this team.
And it's bragging rights for everybody, for the coaching staff, for the fans, but how about for the players as well? For another 365 days, you can talk about how you went out, you dominated, and you beat your rival. A lot of these guys are going to go on to the NFL. They'll be in locker rooms next year. They'll be talking about this for a long time.
So that's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, I'm Reese Davis saying so long. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.